One of our people have asked the question, for seniors in Florida, saving Social Security and Medicare for us, our children, and the next generations is of utmost importance. Could you talk about Social Security and Medicare?
Yeah, when I ran in 2012, if you all remember, at that time, there was a move afoot to turn Social Security into a voucher system. Remember that? Social Security, Medicare will give you a voucher. Now, the interesting part, see, the devil is in the details, right? And when somebody asks the question, well, what happens when my medical bills are one thing, or my needs are one thing, and the vouchers, although we can't help, we don't know that. Your voucher, you can go shopping for whoever you want. This fight, and I say this too, do not listen to just what they say. Y'all, I'm serving my third term in the House of Representatives. I went to Congress from being a 27-year law enforcement officer. I'll tell you this, I could not tell you the political party of the overwhelming majority of men and women at the Orlando Police Department that I served with. We had a mission, and we were laser focused on accomplishing that mission. I have been disappointed in the partisan politics, the viciousness, the effort to leave families behind. Don't watch what just listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Now, if there was anybody who think that Rick Scott's 11-point plan that called for sunsetting all federal laws. See, they think they're really slick, or they think we're not that smart. Because sunsetting all federal laws every 5 years includes Social Security and Medicare, right? They didn't say that. But now there's a scramble. They're scrambling to try to rewrite it a little bit, right? Because of the pushback. They've telegraphed what they will do. So when my opponent comes to you and says, well, now, you know, I got you. He was asked directly about Rick Scott's plan to sunset all federal laws. What about Social Security and Medicare? And I needed an interpreter for his answer, because it was not "I'll protect it," and I'm not for that, right? What he said was he thought it was a good idea to have good ideas. It's okay to come up with good ideas. Yeah, but do you support? Well, I don't know. Don't just listen to what they say. Watch what they do. What I can tell you is, since I was elected sworn in on January 3rd, 2017, my mother's birthday, I have fought to protect Social Security and Medicare. I know people who, were it not for Social Security and Medicare, they could not live, nor could they ever see a doctor. 2 of them were my parents. And so believe me, I stand here today and I will look you in your eyes and tell you, not only have I fought for Social Security and Medicare since day one, I will continue to fight for Social Security and Medicare as your United States Senator.
One more question, if you could. As seniors in the villages, how can we best help you win?
Well, I thought about that. And let me say this, y'all know Florida races. Y'all know Florida races, and the tactics of some people is really, the tactic is to make us think that it's hopeless, that we don't have a chance, right? I thank God as I think back to every major movement in America, when the laws were not always on people's side. There were women who stepped out 102 years ago, and said, we want to vote. There were women who never saw or never had the opportunity to vote, but they continued the work to their last dying breath. I'm glad that people in some just unimaginable times in our nation's history said, I'm going to fight the good fight, because I'm not going to take no for an option or for an answer. The women's suffrage movement, the civil rights movement, voting rights movement, rights of equality, Roe versus Wade. The most important things have always been difficult, right? I would not be in this race if I did not know there is a path to victory. I remember Florida's races. If we go back, statewide races, 2010, Alex Sink 1 percentage point. 2014, Charlie Crist, 1 percentage point. 2018, Andrew Gillum, great candidate, but the majority of the state did not know who he was. When he entered the race, he was the mayor of Tallahassee. That widely unknown young man came within 32,000 votes. Now, what I can tell you is I start in a much better place in terms of name ID around the state. There is a clear path to victory. Remember, we're looking for 1 to 2 percentage points. And I know a black guy with big funny ears and a funny name. I know y'all are trying to figure out who I'm talking about, who won Florida twice. And what did people say? Oh, he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. His name is what? Barack Hussein? I mean, you talk about it. He won Florida. Florida, your state and my state, twice. And then let me get out of the state for a minute to encourage you a little bit. In 2021, when an angry mob was breaking into the United States Capitol, the state of Georgia elected a Southern Baptist black preacher and a Jewish guy to the United States. Now, Phyllis, I know if we were honest with each other, if I took a poll in this room and said, now how many people thought one would win? But y'all know good doggone well y'all didn't think both were gonna win. They both won on the same ballot. We can win this race, and we're not just going to the blue counties to win. We're going into some red counties. And we are talking to people about things that matter to them. I am a police chief who the voters sent to the United States House of Representatives. They sent their chief to the House of Representatives. As a chief, I didn't check people's voter registration cards before I went out and talked to them about things that matter. Once I'm elected, I will represent every person in Florida. I will represent those who did not vote for me, just like I do today. And I will represent those who vote for me. I am not taking anybody for granted. I'm doing what I've always done. I'm getting out and asking you will you vote for me and send me to the United States Senate? So getting on the phone, making a contribution to the campaign, of course. Florida has 22 million people. It's going to take a lot of resources to communicate around the state. But the polling and our focus groups demonstrate that if I can communicate my message around the state, I can win this race. Get on the phone and talk about this race. Talk to your neighbors about what's at stake in this race. Remember, I'm serious about this. See, look, guys, let me give you a little hope. We have one of the most effective bipartisan select committees in the U.S. House of Representatives, getting to the bottom of what happened on January 6th. I'm here to tell you, because I was scrambling for my life on January 6th. It was not just political discourse. It was not just a normal tourist day. It was an insurrection, an attack on the very foundation of who we are as a nation. Now, shame on us if we allow that to happen and think that we shouldn't do anything about it. I am thankful for Adam Kissinger, and I'm thankful for Liz Cheney. I never thought I know your neighbors. I know. But we've got to find people who, look, we might not agree. We might argue all day long about health care. We might argue all day long about public school. But if we don't protect our democracy, there won't be any discussion about health care or public school, because those decisions will be made for you. So it is important. Look for the same people who still care about this nation and who we are, and honor the men and women of our military, the 1% who keep us safe every day, our veterans who have served in this nation, those who have died. We just recognized Memorial Day. They died for our freedoms. You know, I'm obviously a President Kennedy fan. He said that let every nation know whether you wish us well or not, that we will pay any price, bear any burden, oppose any foe, support any friend, for the survival and the success of liberty. It matters. All of that matters. And it is hanging in the balance right now. So tell somebody about this race. We know it's going to be close, right? Florida races always are. But don't, look, if I lose by, I don't know how many people in this room, don't let it be 200, 300. Don't let me, I'm coming back. Your vote matters. Your vote counts. Every vote counts, right? You know, we know the efforts to suppress the vote. Let the people vote. May the best man or woman win. May the best man or woman win. Vote early, because election day. Now look, I like to stand in line at the polls, because I think about those who could not stand in line. And in my strange way, I like to stand and remember them. But vote early, vote by mail. See, y'all did good in 2020. So they started taking the number of drop boxes away. Well, we're going to stay one step ahead of them. Okay, go ahead and take the drop boxes away. We're on to you. We got to vote, guys. We have got to vote. Tell somebody about this race. We're going to be reaching out to you. Sign up. Go to valdemings.com and sign up to volunteer. We're going to be knocking in doors. We're going to be flooding the airways. We're going to be on the phone talking to people. Look, I don't mind people hanging up on me because I was a police chief. So I know, you know, ma'am, I'm calling. This is Chief Demings. Click. But every now and then, some say, yeah, Chief, how you doing? What's up? It's not about us individually. It's about the future of our state and our nation. And so keep calling until you get that one that says, oh, thank God we're being rescued. Everybody, thank you so much for taking time out on a Friday afternoon to spend with me and being so gracious to my husband and my friends. God bless you. May God continue to bless the great state of Florida, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.